Hello, Gemini. Elsie here to do a reading for you. It is a weekly reading, Gemini. How are you, friends? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. I am here to do a reading that is a 9-card read. It is a weekly reading, and it is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. So if you are somebody who's here because I just came floating on through your feed on YouTube, welcome. If I'm up in your business anyway, maybe you just want to stay, hit that subscription button. And if you're a person who always comes back here, thanks for coming back. Look, thanks for all the ways that you loved me in 2025. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all your clicks, your views. I appreciate you so much, and I love reading for Gemini. Let's find out what's going on for you. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about the extendeds, and I'm going to tell you about how to find a private read if you're interested in that. Let's get on with the 9-card read for Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Gemini. What do we need to know about Gemini? We have the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, this is sort of giving me the feeling that you are someone that other people admire. That's what I'm getting right off the hop here. We have the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. It feels like people admire you, Gemini, because you built something from nothing. That's what it feels. It feels like you had a crumbled foundation, or maybe you were a person who didn't have a really good start in life. Maybe you had parents who just didn't have as much education, or just didn't, maybe they were not doing the right things in life. I feel like you came from a crumbled foundation. And I feel like even though you came from this crumbled foundation, that you are standing tall as the Queen of Pentacles. Now, this could mean money and stuff or material wealth, but it doesn't have to. It's time, effort, energy, and looking good and feeling good and treating your body well, and you're doing well in your life. Somebody who has enough that you can share with others, and you do. And we have the Knight of Pentacles, and I think it took you forever. That's what it feels like. The Knight of Pentacles is the one who is moving slowly. The thing is that the Knight of Pentacles never stops. Never stops. Might slow down to an absolute crawl, but is never going to stop. And I feel like you didn't stop, and that's why you are in this energy of the Queen of Pentacles. This could be at work. Maybe you're the top dog at work. Maybe you're the boss. Maybe you started there as someone who had nothing, no foundation, no education, and you slowly worked yourself into this place of the Queen of Pentacles. We've got the Three of Swords. We've got the Six of Swords. And we've got the Magician. Wow. This is really beautiful because it makes me feel like you're the person who realized your worth. You realized that you had everything. Like, it feels like you maybe took you a long time to figure out that you had all the tools that you needed. But I feel like once you did find the tools, Gemini, that it took you a while to learn how to use them, but you did. And you created an environment whereby you could thrive, that you could move on from a crumbled foundation. The Three of Pentacles in the reverse gives me the feeling of poverty, or that you didn't have enough of something, or you were just never given a leg up. It feels like the Three of Swords is telling me that life has been a disappointment, maybe financially, maybe foundationally. It feels like you've always lived in disappointment, but I feel like you've moved on from there because you've realized that you have the skills, the resources. You've been given all 4 aces, and you could go any direction you wanted to go. I feel like you did. It feels like you're on your way to, if you're not in the Queen of Pentacles energy yet, I feel like you are well on your way to being in this Queen of Pentacles energy. We've got the Seven of Cups. Oh, the World is here. And we've got Justice. So I feel like I'm telling somebody here that financial justice is about to be yours, or standing tall and strong. This Queen of Pentacles here is somebody who's not only financially well off, knows their money, but somebody who is living on their own, doesn't need anyone else to give them anything in order for them to be abundant. This person has learned how to plant their own food, cook their own food. Somebody who's learned to live on a budget. It feels like, I want to say that if you're the person who's come from a place of a crumbled foundation, where maybe you did come from a place of poverty. It feels like, I want to say that all those things that you learned, the struggle meals, all of those things, it's like you learned how to make something from nothing. And that's who the Queen of Pentacles is. Learns how to make something from nothing. And I think it's because that you live this life of probably disappointment or heartbreak. You could come from disappointment or heartbreak. It feels like the illusion for you was that this was the end. This was the only way you were ever going to be able to live, period. But I think that you realized you have way more skills than you possibly were told about. And it could be because in the crumbled foundation, you weren't told about the tools because the other people that were raising you had never found the tools. It could be that. We've got justice here. It feels like everything here comes into balance, is restored. It feels like after the ending of something, something else is restored or comes into balance. Something comes into harmony. If we are talking about someone who is in a situation who has lost a job, I want to say that you didn't lose that job because of something terrible, awful, or horrible that was happening to you. I feel like you lost the job because if the universe didn't move you, you would have never moved. The World card is here, and that's fixed energy. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. It feels like somebody here, if your foundation has crumbled, and I'm talking about financially, or that you've lost your job, or it's been really hard for you, I feel like you were not, this was not an ending. Because understand that the World card is here, it's the ending of a chapter. It's not the ending of the world. It's the ending of a chapter. Something here is wrapping up. It's actually a milestone. It's something you've completed that you won't have to complete because you're moving on from it. So I feel like the illusion was you were always going to be disappointed. You were never going to have the foundation that you wanted. But until you realized that you had this ability to create your own future or create your own reality, Knight of Pentacles, I feel that's when you decide to get into this energy here of the Libra energy of this harmony. You get into harmony with yourself, harmony with manifestation. It feels like somebody here has realized that I can move forward using the power of manifestation. And I probably thought it was bunk because Gemini, you are a person who, if I don't believe it, if I don't see it, I don't believe it. You're literal, right? Because tell me about it. I don't know if I believe all the woo-woo stuff, Elsie, but I feel like somebody here has realized that things are slowly, very slowly going to start to come into view. It feels like it's blurry and it starts to get clear as the Magician enters here. Let's look what's going on under the surface here. Tell me about what's going on under the surface, please, for Gemini. We've got the Death card. Everything's about to change. Look at this. I'm going to say that for some of you, like I always say to you guys, right, it doesn't necessarily have to be that this is going on right now, but it could be. It could resonate for you right now. But if it doesn't resonate for you, maybe it never will. But for some of you, this is off into the future because the Knight of Pentacles is here and taking their time about how we're getting to the next stage. Look, the Death card is here. You are the butterfly. You're currently in the cocoon. If you are the person who's lost your job and you're in devastation financially and things aren't going well for you, I feel like you will not be living in this disappointment for much longer. Because I feel what you can't see is that things are already moving forward. All you have to do, your only job here, is to realize you have all of the skills, the resources, and the tools that have been given to you by your deity or the universe, whatever you believe in. And that the illusion here, the illusion is that this will never end. But this tells me that everything is always in motion. That maybe it looks like it's stopped because all these pentacles are here. And the pentacle world is the 3D world. It moves the slowest. And there's a purpose for that. Because we need about 75 to 80 years to try and get accomplished what we need to get accomplished while we're here. So here, this is the, coming out of the cocoon. This is coming out with your wings intact, my friend, and flying off into the distance. Let's talk about this Three of Pentacles in the reverse, because somebody here is either dealing with a foundation that has crumbled, Something's not growing the way that you thought it would or as quickly as you thought it would because all of these pentacles here. Tell me about this Three of Pentacles. What are we talking about? We've got the Judgment card. We've got the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. So something is about to change. There's a really big change showing up for you. Look at all these big cards here. We've got all major arcanas. And when the major arcana show up, there's 3 here, 1 here. That's 4, 5, 6. And we've got 7, 8. We've got 9, 13 cards out. 8 out of the 13 cards here are major arcana. And when the major arcana show up, these are things that are bringing change that you have no say in. These things are showing up for you, and you only have 2 things that your only job is to either receive it, react to it, or respond to it, but you must receive it. It's going to show up. So I feel like this Judgment card here tells me that you are being born into a new cycle. Look, I really do feel like this foundation of yours crumbled because if it didn't crumble for you, Gemini, you were never moving on. Because I have never met a Gemini who is very flexible. Look, I'm sure there's Geminis out there that are flexible. I'm not saying that you're not, but I got to tell you, especially Gemini Sun, some of the Geminis that I know are probably more fixed than I am, and I am a Taurus. And that's why it's so important to look at the moon and the rising, right? I'm a Taurus Sun, but I'm also a Sagittarius rising, which makes me a little more flexible than your average Taurus. But I feel like I'm talking to somebody here who is not necessarily flexible. So I feel like the devil energy is here. You don't trust the future. The future is the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Something is about to change, but change is not here yet. You're currently in the stage of crumbling. Everything around you might be crumbling. Maybe you're having a hard time financially. Things are like walking a tightrope. Like it feels like you're on a very tight rope. But listen, the Judgment card is here. There's a new cycle that's ready to be born. But the devil is the one casting doubt. I feel like you're terrified. It feels like you're scared, you're terrified, that you feel like you're running the hamster wheel and nothing is working out for you. I feel like you don't see that things are moving forward because you are in the 3D world, of course. And the Six of Swords tells me it's already moving. Tell me why the Three of Swords is here. We've got the 8 of Cups in the reverse. We've got the 2 of Pentacles, and we have the 4 of Cups. King of Swords is under the bottom of the deck. Ooh, okay. 4 of Cups tells me I feel stuck. I feel stuck in this negative energy. Maybe it's a little bit of I feel like I'm never going to get out of this crumbling foundation. I'm never going to be able to get myself out of this. The 4 of Cups is a place where you get stuck, right? It can become a little bit depressing, or you can be sad under that energy after a while when you feel like there's just no way that you can get out of it. The 2 of Pentacles is here. I feel like things are down to the wire, and you're on, like things feel like they're wobbling. That's what it feels like. I could kind of go this way. I could kind of go that way. I'm just barely keeping my stability or keeping my balance here. We've got the 8 of Cups in the reverse. Look, something's about to bounce back. I feel like you're made of rubber. I'm just going to say, like a rubber ball, I keep bouncing back to you. That's an old song, like from the 50s. I feel like you're a rubber ball. I feel like that you, with the 8 of Cups, that's the bounce back. That's the boomerang for me. It feels like something is about to boomerang here. And although you're on a little bit of wobbly legs here, it feels like that you're stuck there, that you're stagnant there, and nothing is ever going to change. But I think it's because of 3 of Swords, because you're disappointed in the way things are moving at this time. Like the King of Swords is here, and the King of Swords is a person who is who has some sort of authority, right? This is someone who faces things head on, who always has their eye on things, somebody who gets all the details. This is somebody who has the final word. This could be someone who's hiring you. This could be someone who wants you in a contract with them. We've got the Queen of Wands. It's somebody who's about to make a bold move, and the bold move is going to be in your favor, friend, but it is not here yet, and it seems to be taking for bloody ever. Tell me why the Magician is here. The Magician to me is like, this is the only hope that you have here. There is the Star, which is healing energy, also manifestation. We have the Page of Pentacles. And we have the Two of Swords. There is a decision that's being made in your favor. I really feel like there is. The Nine of Cups is here. You're about to come into alignment here. And the Page of Pentacles tells me that the offer might be very small. It might be a very small offer. But I feel like it's saying here that you should probably take it. Because I feel like with the Magician energy and the Star, that it has the ability to heal things and that this is the beginning of your wish fulfillment. It feels like this Page of Pentacles is something that you can touch, taste, smell. It is something that is an offer, possibly a small offer or a small nudge forward. But the Two of Swords is telling me that there's a decision process. There's a decision process. Somebody is in the midst of making a decision to give you some type of offer. This could be financial. It could be time, effort, energy, money. Can you come to my place? Can I show you how to do this? Will you do my yard work? Whatever it is, it feels like it's something small. Tell me why the World card is here. We've got the Five of Pentacles, we've got the Queen of Swords, and we've got the Seven of Wands. It's going to help you bust out of this place of poverty. Look at this. I really love this. Look at that. It's because of your strength that I feel, and your ability to stand up for yourself and fight for yourself. And the Wands are always about never giving up. No matter what comes to kill you, it just makes you stronger. It feels like that this has built you to the place that you are. And I feel like you are somebody who is well-read. You're highly intelligent. You're an eloquent speaker. You're somebody who has a lot of talents. People actually respect you for the things you know, the things that you say. I think that you are well educated. And it feels like this whole situation of things crumbling, not working, being in this depressed energy, being sad, being in this place where you feel like you're stuck, I feel like that's about to come to an end. And I feel like we're looking at this, you busting out of this jail of poverty. That's what it looks like. Because somebody who I think is the King of Swords, because look, the King of Swords, if there's anybody who's going to recognize the Queen of Swords immediately, it's the King of Swords, because you mirror that person. That person's going to see themselves in you and say, that's the person we're hiring. That's the person for the job. That's the person I want to mentor. It feels like there is a really good opportunity showing up here, and it's going to bring balance. Look at this. Now we know why this is here. Something's about to transform your future, and somebody here is going to ask you to take some sort of a big leap of faith. It's exhilarating and fun, but look, it's under the surface. It's bigger than you think it is. It's way bigger than you think it is. That's why I'm saying with this Page of Pentacles here, it feels like something here looks small on the surface, but it's way bigger than you understand. And you may see it as small on the surface, but something here is way bigger than you understand. So we're going to go into the extended. If you'd like to come into the extended, we're going to clarify the rest of this, because this is where you're coming out, friend. This is who you really are. You just can't see it yet because of this, right? Your eyes are covered. I feel like the decision hasn't been made yet. You can't see that this is where you're headed, but things are about to come into balance for you. They're already in motion. Bottom of the deck is the Five of Wands. So for you, you don't know what your next move is. You're like, there's too much competition. They're never going to pick me. I don't know what my next move is going to be. This is like a chess game that I feel like I can never win. But the Seven of Swords is here. It's because it's under the surface and you can't see it. The Page of Cups is going to surprise you. I'm just saying, we're going into the extended. If you want to be there, please look above the at the top of all of the comments, there is one pinned comment. Please click on more. You will find the membership area, which is where I put all of the extendeds. If you'd like to look at least 4 extendeds in a month for your one sign or more, if you're watching for more signs, please go to the membership. If you'd like to purchase this one outright, there is a link there if you'd like to go straight for the purchase for this one extended. And if you're interested in a private reading, friends, right now I do have pre-recorded readings open. And if you're interested in that, please click on the link to Hypsee. You can look at all my pricing, all my packages, and what they entail, and I will see you there. So if you'd like to come to the extended, that's where we'll be. And if this is where we break, that's cool, because I'll be back, because I'm always back. You guys take care. Something good is coming, Gemini. I'm gonna go for now. Bye-bye.